For many of us, kings mean an enormous amount of wealth that never reduces no matter what the king does. This is the kind of wealth a normal person can't even think of in their wildest dreams. Today, we're talking about the top 10 richest kings in the world who spend millions of dollars on their luxurious lifestyles and still stay rich. Do you know who these kings are and how rich they can be? Probably not, but don't worry, today we reveal everything here. In our list, we haven't included anyone who holds the title of prince or duke. So without further ado, let's start. At number 10 is King Willem-Alexander, the King of the Netherlands. The king belongs to the House of Orange-Nassau, and he became king in the year 2013 after the abdication of his mother. The net worth of this Dutch king is about $47 million, which comes from the royal family investment. The king and members of the royal family also get an additional benefit of $10 million from the government, like tax reliefs, the salary of the queen, and funds for the staff's salary. The king owns a super yacht called the Wager Osprey 38, worth more than $448,000. The king also owns expensive cars like an Audi A8L worth $86,000 and a Tesla Model X worth $120,000. If you're wondering where the king lives, he lives in Villa Eikenhorst, which is worth millions of dollars. The king also owns a Dutch royal palace called the Noordeinde Palace, which is in the province of South Holland. 9. King of Japan. King Naruhito is the king of Japan. The king belongs to the Royal Imperial House of Japan called Koshitsu. This house is considered the oldest monarchy in the world, and King Naruhito is the 126th monarch of this royal house. Naruhito became king on May 1, 2019, when King Akihito decided to step down from the throne. Now, coming to the net worth, this 61-year-old king has a net worth of $100 million. As the head of Japan's royal family, the king also receives around $100 million in aid from the government of Japan for maintenance and management of the palace with other expenses. Apart from this, the king also receives various benefits from the government, like exceptions to taxes. This allows the king to support a lavish lifestyle. The king owns 5 Toyota Centuries, which are heavily customized to ensure the safety and security of the royal family. Each of these cars costs $175,000, and it can go up to $200,000. The king lives in the palace, which is spread over an area of 3.41 square kilometers. The price of this palace is about $852 billion. Not much, right? Number 8. King of Oman. The king of Oman is Haitham bin Tariq Al Said, who belongs to the royal house of Al Said. King Haitham bin became the sultan on January 11, 2020, after the death of Sultan Qaboos. This is the country's most powerful position, meaning the king controls everything. The net worth of the king is about $1 billion, and this comes from all the king's investments in and around the world. The king owns Petroleum Development Oman, the country's largest oil-producing company. It generates $12 to $15 billion of revenue each year. This allows the sultan to live a lavish life, which is quite lavish. In addition, the king lives in a 200-year-old royal palace called Al Alam Palace, worth millions of dollars. The king also owns 2 private jets, Boeing 747 A40-OMN, worth $150 million, and another private jet, Boeing 747 A40-HMS, worth $180.7 million. And when it comes to a yacht, the sultan owns a $600 million super yacht called Al Said. 7. King of Qatar. Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani is the Emir of Qatar. Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad became the emir in 2013 after King Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani abdicated the throne. Being a king, he holds the most powerful position in the country and plays a prominent role in foreign relations. The net worth of the King of Qatar is about $2 billion. Qatar is one of the largest producers of natural gas, and the king owns Qatar Energy Company, which generates $21 billion of net income per year. This supports the lavish lifestyle of the emir. Coming to the lifestyle, the king lives in a large palace in Qatar and owns a $150 million mansion in London called Regent Park. He has a car collection worth $15 million. Some of them are Lexus LX57D worth $86,000, 2 Rolls-Royce Ghosts worth $311,000, Mercedes-Maybach S600 worth $173,000. The king also owns a super yacht called Al Lusail worth $500 million and 4 Boeing 747 private jets, each costing $418 million. The king also has several Airbus A320s private jets and 1 A340 jet. 6. King of Morocco. Up next at number 6 is Mohammed VI, the King of Morocco. His Majesty belongs to the Alawi dynasty, and he became the King of Morocco in 1999 after his father's death. The king retains complete control over the armed forces, the judiciary, and matters related to religion and foreign policy. The King of Morocco is the richest king in Africa with a net worth of about $5.5 billion. And this is because the king has an investment in almost all the sectors of the country, like banking, real estate, insurance, mining, tourism, telecom, and many more. He holds a major stake in the Société Nationale d'Investissement, a holding group that generates more than $500 million annually. The king also has a lavish car collection which goes above 600 cars. It includes a Maybach, Ferrari, Aston Martins, and others. And the worth of this car collection is hundreds of millions. The king also owns a private jet Boeing 737 BBJ worth $90 million and a super yacht, Bitis 1, worth $100 million, which has an annual maintenance cost of $5 to $10 million. And the king lives in a palace called Dar al-Makhzen, and along with this, he also owns 10 more palaces in Morocco. 5. King of Dubai. Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum is the King of Dubai, and officially we can say ruler of Dubai. After the death of his elder brother, Sheikh Maktoum bin Rashid Al Maktoum, on January 4, 2006, Sheikh Mohammed became Dubai's ruler and prime minister. He is currently the absolute ruler of the Dubai Emirate. The net worth of the King of Dubai is about $15 billion. The king owns multiple companies through his investment firm. The companies are Emirates Airlines, the Jumeirah Group, which prints $5.2 billion annually for the king. He's also the second largest owner of Emaar Properties Company, a major real estate investment company worldwide. Now, coming to his personal assets, the King of Dubai has an extensive collection of expensive cars, which include a Mercedes-AMG G63 worth $394,000, a Mercedes G550 worth $131,750, a Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead Coupe worth $12.8 million, Koenigsegg CCXR worth $4.4 million, and much more. Now, coming to jets, he owns 2, a Boeing 747 BBJ A6-HRM worth $567 million, and a Boeing 747 BBJ A6-MMM with a price tag of $567 million. Number 4. King of Saudi Arabia. And number 4 takes us to the richest individual royal of the planet, the King of Saudi Arabia, Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. He is the absolute ruler of Saudi Arabia and ascended the throne on January 23, 2015. The net worth of the King of Saudi Arabia is about $18 billion. The king owns Saudi Aramco, the world's largest oil-producing company with a net worth of $110 billion. The king also invests in multi-billion-dollar companies like Saudi Petroleum International and Motiva Enterprises LLC. Now, coming to the personal assets of the king, he owns many lavish cars like an Audi R8, Guagon, and Bentley, but special of them is the Rolls-Royce, which is gold-plated and worth $600,000. Regarding air travel, the king has $200 million worth of Boeing 747-400 private jets, and the king also has a super yacht, Prince Abdulaziz, worth more than $100 million. 3. King of Brunei. At number 3 is Hassan al-Bolkiah, the King of Brunei, who is known for his enormous wealth and his love for gold. He ascended the throne in 1967. The net worth of this king is $28 billion. The king owns various hotels and restaurants around the world like Dorchester Hotel in London, Hotel Beverly Hills in Los Angeles, Hotel Plaza Athénée of Paris, and many more. The King of Brunei has a 50% stake in the country's biggest oil production company, which earns billions for the king. The personal properties of the king include a $10 million personal zoo and a $1 billion theme park. The king has a humongous collection of 5,000 cars, which is worth $4 billion. The star of this collection is the Rolls-Royce Phantom II Continental, Star of India, which is gold-plated for the king. The king also owns the world's largest royal palace in the world called the Istana Nur al-Iman Palace, which is worth more than $5 billion. And he also has a collection of private jets, including a Boeing 767-200 jet worth $251 million and an Airbus A340-200 worth $138 million, as well as a Boeing 747-400, which is decorated with gold and is worth more than $400 million. 2. King of Abu Dhabi. Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan is the King of Abu Dhabi, or Emir of the Abu Dhabi Emirate. and he ascended the throne in May 2022 after the death of his older brother Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. This is a powerful position which takes all the decisions of the country of the UAE. This new king of Abu Dhabi has a net worth of about $30 billion. The king is also the chairman of the Mubadala Development Company, an Emirate state-owned holding company. He's also the deputy chairman of the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority and manages the country's excess oil reserve, which has an estimated worth of $700 billion according to Forbes. The king lives in a royal palace, Qasr Al Watan, that has a worth of $490 million, and according to some reports, it can go over $1 billion. The king also owns 2 private Boeing 747s, which are highly customized for the king and are worth around $400 million. Apart from those jets, he also has a Boeing 787, which is worth $250 million. And finally, the king owns a super yacht, Rabdan, specially made for the king, which is worth $60 million and has an annual running cost of $8 million annually. 1. King of Thailand. At number 1 is the richest king in the world, Maha Vajiralongkorn, also known as Rama X. He became the king in December 2016 after the death of his father, Bhumibol Adulyadej. The king of Thailand is the richest individual royal in the world with a net worth of $47 billion. The king also owns several companies like Siam Commercial Bank, a bank in Thailand, and he has a 23% stake in it. He also owns Siam Cement plc with a 34% of its stake, generating $200 million per year for the king. The king also owns 6,560 hectares of land throughout the country, and 10 square kilometers in the city center area of Bangkok, in which he owns various shopping malls and shops, among other things. All this generates more than $100 million for the king annually. Apart from this, the king has 19 palaces around the world, but the most lavish of them is Dustin Palace, where the king currently lives. It's spread in 64,749 square meters of land. Now, regarding cars, he owns multiple cars: a Maybach 62 limousine worth $700,000, a Mercedes S-Class worth $111,000, a Rolls-Royce Corniche worth $340,000, and a Cadillac DTS worth $40,000. When it comes to collecting flying vehicles, the king of Thailand puts everyone to shame. The king owns 38 jets, 3 of which are Airbus, each costing more than $90 million, and 3 Russian Sukhoi superjets with a price tag of $50 million. And he also has 21 helicopters, each costing $2 million.